Like a good deal, and I appreciate it.
Reaction from grocery shoppers in South Louisville today, learning that they'll be keeping a slightly larger slice of their paychecks coming next year in 2026. In fact, starting this Thursday, January 1st, Kentuckians will be paying less in individual income tax. But how much will that really save you?
And how does the state plan to make up for that loss in revenue, which helps fund public education and road projects?
Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Jessica Farley have the details.
When it comes to how much a 0.5% rate cut could help Kentuckians, it's all perspective. For many of them, it'll be a couple $100 here or there, but for folks shopping at grocery stores like these, they tell me
Every dollar in my pocket counts. You know, I watch every penny.
at the Save-A-Lot grocery store in the south end of Louisville, we were the ones to break the news to shopper Marvin Wilkerson that he, along with millions of other Kentuckians, will be paying a 0.5% less in personal state income tax. On January 1st, it'll drop from 4% to 3.5%.
It'll help me. It'll help me. Yeah, be a little bit on groceries, a little bit on gas.
Here's an example of how this affects your wallet. Kentucky's median household income is roughly $64,000. That household will go from paying $2,581 in individual state income tax to $2,258, or about $322 in savings.
Let's inspire more people to be earning and recognize they get to keep more of what they've earned.
Republican lawmakers in Frankfort, like State Senator Shelley Funky Frohmeyer, want to eventually lower Kentucky's income tax to zero, arguing these kinds of moves make the state more attractive to outside businesses. But I asked her how Kentucky will be able to make up for that loss in revenue that helps to fund roads, schools, and many programs.
We're inviting more people to Kentucky and getting sales tax. As our economic development has grown, more earners into Kentucky are spending on other things that generate revenues through sales tax.
Here's Governor Andy Beshear's thoughts earlier this month on whether Kentucky has room for further reductions.
We need balanced sources of revenue because we have programs that are so important. I mean, if we have to make massive cuts, what happens to different programs?
Back at Save-A-Lot, Wilkerson, a machine operator who works 7 days a week, tells me he likes the reduction as long as it benefits the right people.
It's helping somebody. You know, I hope it helps the general public because it usually only helps the politicians. So, you know, I just pray for my state and my city.
Well, I say a lot of times governors don't like anything that takes away revenue from the state, but Andy Beshear's been very interesting on this one. He actually signed it, but you say he didn't like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he makes it very clear, guys, in his Team Kentucky's that, like, there are a lot of potential downsides to further lowering the income tax. He actually attributed it as one of the two reasons why we have that budget deficit going into next year. He mentions tariffs and then income tax, but then at the same time, he does sign these into law, and in some cases, we've actually seen him and his team promote that among his constituents, Kentuckians, saying, you know, I signed a lowering of the income tax. It's, in his words, he says it's a balance. Lowering it when you can, when you meet those economic requirements.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Isaiah.